Hi, everyone. I'm Ruffian Titman, Executive Director of Friends of the Wissahickon. And we're here today with Supervisor of the Rangers of the Northwest District, Sahlee Brown, a great friend to the Wissahickon Valley Park and all of Northwest Philadelphia, and to the Friends of the Wissahickon. And welcome, Sahlee. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm doing fine.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Sure. So rangers are a key part of the park system and the health of our parks and the enjoyment of our visitors. And so I'm really thrilled to have you with us today to highlight the importance of our park rangers and talk to you because we've been friends for years and are someone I call for help all the time with questions, concerns, and even good news at times. So good to see you. Well, I'm happy to introduce you to our Facebook friends and everybody out who might watch this on the video recording. And so I'm going to just jump right in.
Okay.
How did you become a park ranger? What made you decide that this was the career path for you?
Well, first it was my family. I had two cousins here. One was a park ranger supervisor in the same position that I'm in, regular ranger, and moved up to a lead ranger in his time here. Second thing was my love for nature.
Yeah.
Okay. And I grew up in Mount Airy, so Valley Green has been my backyard since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it. And it just was like a easy transition in career once I came out of college to start here and then be working like in my own backyard and a place that I enjoy. And I really enjoy helping keeping the balance in between us as humans, animals, and plants. And, I see the importance in all of it, and I like helping keep it a balance.
It is a balancing act.
Yes.
What would you say is the best part of your job? The things that I think a lot of people are interested in is what is the typical day of a ranger?
Okay.
Because I feel like you guys have a lot on your plate that maybe people don't necessarily think is what you're doing.
Okay. So when you talk typical day and you're speaking of a ranger, it's really no such thing.
There's no typical day.
I mean, we have typical duties like unlocking and locking restrooms and opening the gates surrounding the park areas. And we're going to do that in the morning and at night as scheduled. If nothing jumps in between that schedule, like quality of life issues, car accidents and travel, any of that kind of stuff could actually change what a typical day of a ranger looks like. So most of the time you're talking typical day is we're going to do those duties in the morning and then basically be on patrol with the public throughout that day. And if you're thinking about being on patrol with the public, you got all different kinds of people from different environments, different areas, new to Philly, been in Philly for years. So at the end of the day, it's really hard to say what's typical, but that's what I like about the job the most is that every day is something new. And it's never really the same consistently. You know what I mean? Because we're just dealing, one day I could save a red-tailed hawk. The next day I might be talking a man off a bridge. Never know you would do something like that in your life. And the following day, you could just be giving kids directions and talking and smiling and teaching people about the park, so.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
You do a lot of first responding, from being out on the street and in the park, So it's not typical. And that's basically mostly what I like most about the job. It's a challenge and, as they come, if you're willing to take on the challenges, then, and it's fulfilling to you in the same sense. You can get some enjoyment out of what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. So maybe I'm backtracking a little bit, but just because I'm curious, you said you became a ranger after college. Did your studies point you in that direction? And
I went to school for physical education K through 12. I was trying to be a phys ed teacher.
All right.
And I didn't stay in school, got a little homesick, and Delaware wasn't the same as Philadelphia. So
Wissahickon called you home.
Yes. So after 2 years of college, I came back home and I was thinking about the things I would like to do. And like I said, I had a cousin doing this at the time. and he talked to me about it, introduced me to it, and I said it was something I would like to get involved in. And that was when I was 19 years old, and I'm 42, still here doing it. So
Well, you must love it.
yeah.
And so when I think about what's something you feel like you and your colleagues would really like, particularly a first-time visitor, to know when they come to the park?
All the rules. But we like to tell people, like I said, just educate people to the rules and regulations, and just making sure that they understand that they're still in Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really important to tell people, because
Sure.
I let them know that this is the best city park probably in the world that I can compare anything I've ever been to. That's the first thing I like to tell them. But then I like to also make them realize that they are in a big city. We still have some big city issues, and they need to be aware about those issues when they come visit our parks.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think it's just an awareness in general for everyone, whether you're visiting backcountry or front country.
Yes.
Still,
yes.
Anything can happen anywhere. And so it's really, I think, when you start to enter the woods, regardless of where you are, you really need to kind of have a sense of awareness, because
yes.
People in nature,
always
unpredictable.
And etiquette. I'd like people to learn to have an understanding of etiquette. Like, I mountain bike. When people are coming uphill, we stop going downhill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When people have dogs, people that have good control, they take them off to the side and do certain things. Just proper. I wish the etiquette of the way proper park visitors and people that have been here for years that understand the rhythm of the Wissahickon would be known to the new people that come to visit. You know what I mean? Sure. But it's a learned behavior, and it takes some time.
Yeah, and we're a heavily visited place. Sometimes the rules seem maybe a lot for some folks, but they're really there in a lot of ways to keep everyone able to have a good experience. Be reasonably safe and know what to do when you're out there. So.
Just like when someone's on a horse, a bike is supposed to stop, pull to the side, and get this, and talk to the people and let them know, and communicate, But
here's a PSA, everyone, for the yield on the trail. Everybody yields to the horses.
Yes, for sure. Right? It's a long fall.
It is, and their mode of transportation is alive, so
exactly
that creates some variabilities there.
Yes. Yeah, but just the safety issues based on the rule issues are like the main things that I would love for people to understand and have a clear understanding of that. We're not trying to be a bad guy. We are really just trying to make sure everyone has a good time and is safe.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
What's your favorite spot in the Wissahickon to get off of rules and regulations and get into Sahlee on his?
One of my favorite spots. It's at Sailor's Grove. It's not exactly inside of the Wissahickon, but it's across the street.
No, it's part of the Wissahickon. I declare it part of the Wissahickon.
Yeah, but it's a rock there, and it's actually almost like a lounge chair, and that's where I sit and wait for a lot of my friends when we're getting ready to do group rides.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Sailor's Grove is one of my spots, and me and my son love the Frog Pond at Mount Airy Avenue.
A beautiful spot. I was just walking by there the other day.
Yeah, so we hang out there and do a lot of catch and release of the frogs and look.
Very good.
Yep.
That's another PSA, folks. Catch but release the frogs. Do not take them home with you. They don't want to go home with you. They like their pond. Yep. Beautiful spot.
Yep, and we take some time at the Chief too, Chief Teddy Uskin.
Okay.
Yep.
A great hike up there.
Yes.
Look out, and really magnificent, especially this time of year as the leaves are ready to return.
Yeah.
And Sailor's Grove is such a great example of, I think, the difference a little bit of nature makes right there in the city, because you can sit there in that spot and the cars are going around, but you've got the trees and the water.
Mm-hmm.
It's really lovely. So
yes, it's a good spot.
Thank you for pointing that out. It's a good spot.
Yep. And like I said, when you sit on that rock, it's not like you're sitting on a rock from the way it's designed.
But if you see Sahlee, folks, let him have his rock to sit. So one of the things I know this summer is a lot of summers you hire seasonal rangers for the summer season, and I think a lot of people don't know that there's that opportunity. So what kind of advice would you give to folks that are maybe the young 19, 20, 21-year-old out there that's saying, Sahlee said he became a ranger back then. How do you go about starting a career with the Rangers?
Well, I'm going to tell you first, if you're chasing the money, that's not good.
Okay, this isn't the path to riches. It's fulfillment, people.
Yes,
it's fulfillment.
but if you're chasing the fulfillment and you're and you actually love to be outside,
right.
Then this is the place to be. And if you like people and you like animals and you like nature, and all in the same sense, this is the best of all three worlds here. Yeah. And that's, I would tell people, like, to really just have a passion, for being outdoors and actually helping, because it's all help. Like, a lot of people.
We have people, they're lost. They don't know where to park. They don't know where the bathroom is. They don't.
If your life gets fulfillment based on giving people information that they need, then this is the place.
This is the place for you. And you like to be outside.
Yes, and you love to be outside. Yeah. Yep. And you like to take walks and you like to bike.
You're going to get your steps, put your Fitbit on. You're going to get your steps every day.
Yes. And social. If you're okay with being social.
Yeah.
We
have huge visitation, not just in the Wissahickon, but all of our parks across the city.
Yes. And just opening new doors also. Like, so I tell a lot of young people that come here that this is just, it's a lot of spaces in the park that need help. So even if the Rangers are not what you like when you get here, it still opens up to, working at a nature center, or it just opens up all the other areas, of the park, because you get to see and also meet people while you're doing those kind of jobs.
Right. It's a kind of a great way to get introduced to working in the park system, whether you ultimately stay in a ranger or become an educator or a naturalist or any of those things.
I know a seasonal that his name is Roger at this point, and now he works in, he's one of the managers in the Northwest District, Yeah. So we work together now, and he was working under me as a seasonal.
Excellent. So people should go to probably phila.gov and click the career link and search.
Yes.
Rangers.
But to do the seasonal work is best. It's best to get in contact directly with us as Rangers, because to get those resumes in, they usually go to the Ranger Supervisor, Renee Adderley, in the Southwest District.
Okay.
And they usually go to her direct email. So if they go to her direct, anybody that's interested in doing any kind of seasonal work for the Rangers, that's the direct person that does all the hiring and looking over the resumes. And then we all interview together.
Excellent.
Yep. So
how many full-time Rangers do we have in Philadelphia?
Wow. See, you ask this question all the time, and this is a difficult question because we just lost, we lost Cassie. Yeah, she went on to, so full-time Rangers at this point, I think we're talking, including supervisors and Jamie, I think we're at 20, I think, at this point. Okay. If I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but
all right. But that's for the whole city, everyone. I just like to point this out, that we love our Rangers. We know they're dedicated, but that's 20 for the whole city.
Yes.
Full-time Rangers.
Yes.
So we think possibly a few more could be helpful.
Yes.
But we do encourage everyone to think about next summer season for seasonal work, and reach out to the park and Rangers directly and see what's available.
And just touch on the seasonal work one more time. It's just to let you know, when you do the seasonal work, you do get the qualifications after 2 years to actually qualify for a full-time Ranger position, even if you don't have any experience just yet.
Okay, so this is actually a great pathway to meeting those the qualifications for this city position.
Yes.
Thank you for pointing that out. I think sometimes it can be intimidating for people. They go on, they see the requirements and qualifications, and So don't be intimidated.
Yes.
Give it a shot.
Yep.
All right. I'm looking now to see if we have any questions. We're having comments. We have some comments about our helpful and professional rangers. Also some concerns about parks. This one's actually for the Penny Pack, with a lot of visitors from out of state, and a lot of trash left behind. I know we had our Leave No Trace designation for the Wissahickon. We know that the challenges we have in the Wissahickon are seen in our other watershed parks. And I think that goes back to maybe a little bit of what you said about, the users and using the park and understanding, one of the things we're thinking about here in the Wissahickon is just letting people understand about what we have and what we don't have. And
yeah,
we don't have a lot of trash cans and we don't have a lot of bathrooms.
Yeah, I tried to explain, and I've been successful with a lot of people about the fact of picnicking and doing certain things in the wrong areas based on us not being able to get to the trash before the animals.
Right. Yeah. So it's not just a don't do. It's if you do, then it's going to create this whole situation where we can't get in, and then it looks, we know no one's really. We think most people really aren't going out to create a problem. They're just not coming, understanding that the infrastructure really isn't there.
Yes, it's hard to be responsible even in that sense. Like even if you bagged it up and you put it somewhere, at the end of the day, it's still still may be all over.
I think the rangers would agree that it'd be great to, if you carry it in, please carry it out anywhere you go. It's a big gift to all of us working in the park system when people do that. So.
Yeah.
Well, Sahlee, it's always fabulous to see your smiling face and talk to you. And I won't keep you stuck in your office because I know it's a beautiful day out there.
Yes, it is.
Where you'd like to get out and see who needs help, and just be out there. So thank you for taking the time to talk with me and share, and we'll see you out on the trail soon.
For sure. Thank you too, Rafi, and have a good day.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye.